displaying the glory of God's creation by visiting every state park, national park, and national forest in the contiguous 48 states. Welcome to Parking Full Time with Big Dave the Parker. 10th hole, 320 feet, par 3. I want to welcome you back to Parking Full Time. I am Big Dave the Parker. We are at Grand Central Station Disc Golf Course. We are a few miles east of Clemson, South Carolina, and so we're in upstate South Carolina. The 10th hole is a moderately downhill hole, and it's very wide open. Honestly, these two holes in the middle of this course, the 9th hole and the 10th hole, are probably my two least favorite holes on this course. There's the 10th basket up ahead. And there's the view back to the tee from behind the 10th basket. The 11th hole is also downhill, is 580 feet, and it is a par 4. You have some pine trees over here to the right. Those branches hang well out into the fairway, but this is a very wide fairway. This course is organized into two 18-hole routes called lines. There is the freight line and the locomotive line. This walkabout is the back nine of the freight line. In total, this course has 27 distinct tee pads and 25 distinct baskets, and so some tee pads and baskets are used on both lines, and some holes are actually played on both lines. This hole, for example, is the 11th hole on the freight line. It's also the second hole on the locomotive line. Exact same hole, just a different order depending on which line you are playing. When you get closer to the basket here, this hole really tightens up as we head into the woods. You can see over a little low depression here. That's the 11th basket you see off to the right. There is a steep drop-off behind the basket, so you have to be careful not to overthrow on this hole. A few small trees around the basket. And there's the view back to the tee. Twelfth hole plays back up the hill. It's somewhat heavily wooded, but there is a decent width fairway here. It is 235 feet. It is a par 3. The basket is over to the left behind this kind of weird looking tree, kind of hobbit looking tree off here to the left. I captured this video on Thursday, February the 16th. The temperature was 62 degrees when I did this walkabout. There's the view back to the tee from behind the basket. 13th hole is a slight dogleg right. It also plays slightly downhill. It is 260 feet, and it's a par 3. There is a fairly wide fairway here, but you can see the dense trees on either side of the fairway. So if you miss this fairway, probably you're going to be able to find your disc because there isn't much understory in those trees. But you're going to be faced with a tough recovery shot if you get off the fairway. The area around the basket's actually really wide open here. There's the 13th basket. And there's the view back to the 13th tee. Hole number 14 is the famous or infamous, as the case may be, island hole. It is 180 feet. You have to throw through a tight gap in the trees here. It is a par 3. The idea behind this island hole is everywhere outside of the mulched area that you see up ahead is out of bounds. The good news is the drop area is right in this little gravel area right here. And so if you should happen to miss the island, you still have a chance at least to save par. Island holes are not my favorite thing, but this one's maybe better than most. Hole number 15 is 285 feet. It is a par 3. It plays through this lightly wooded area here, right along the park's north boundary. There is a creek off to the right, but the creek is far enough right it would take a bad throw or a really bad ricochet off of one of these trees in order for your disc to end up over in the creek. Nice hole here, maybe not a real exciting hole. Not like the previous hole, but a nice hole. There's the 15th basket. There's the view back to the tee. 16th hole. Now there's a mando here right in front of the tee, and so you have to keep your disc to the left of that mando. The area over to the right is a sewer right-of-way. Honestly, I don't really know why that mando is there. The mando doesn't make any sense to me. But if you're going to play the mando, that is what you have to do. This hole is 195 feet. It's a par 3. It's a nice little hole. The creek is off there to the left, and it does definitely come into play on this hole. 17th hole is 250 feet. It's a par 3. It's also a sharp dogleg left. It's fairly flat until you get out here to the dogleg, and then it curves sharply left and goes steeply uphill in order to get to the basket. It is fairly dense woods around here, so you have to be careful how much of that dogleg that you want to bite off. Also, it's a fairly steep area around the basket, so you have to be careful when putting to take into account the elevation. 18th and final hole on this course. It's 510 feet. It's a par 4. There's kind of a double dogleg here while you're in the woods. But then once you get out of the woods, this hole really opens up, and it's really a very clear path up to the basket. Since this is the final hole, I want to thank you for watching. Parking full time would not be anything without the people who watch. I realize that every day, and I thank you every day. If you like this sort of thing, please click the thumbs up button. And if you really like this sort of thing, please click the subscribe button. That helps other people to find this video, and also encourages me to bring more of this sort of thing your way. There are a few small trees up here by the basket, but overall, again, once you deal with the little double dogleg back there in the woods and break out into the open, then this is really a very straightforward finishing hole. The parking lot is behind the basket and off to the right, by the way. There's the 18th basket, and the view back to the tee. That's the end of the course. Take care, have a great afternoon, and Lord bless.